Am I the butthole for telling my dad to never contact me again after he chose his wife's mum over me?
Wow.
What? Why? Okay, I can understand his wife, but why his wife's mum? What the hell?
Hello and welcome back to All the Games. I am Alex.
And I'm Chelsea.
And we are back with more r/Am I the Butt. So let's get straight into it.
Am I the butt for being angry my tax refund paid off my husband's child support? My husband and I filed our taxes jointly this year for the past 2 years. I was completely unaware that he had $7,000 in unpaid child support. I thought he was making regular monthly payments. We were expecting a refund, but only $175 was deposited. I feel blindsided, violated, and taken advantage of. When I brought this up, he dismissed my feelings and told me I should be grateful the child support is now paid off because it means he can contribute more money each month. That logic doesn't make sense to me. His child is still under 18, so he still has to make ongoing payments regardless. I feel physically ill, he is not supportive of how I'm feeling whatsoever and is actually angry at me for how I am responding. Am I the butthole?
Oh, me first. Okay, right. The clue is in the title. Am I the butt for being angry? My tax refund paid off my husband's child support. It's not her baby. It's not her child, because he's still under 18. It doesn't clarify how old he is. It's not her child, so not her problem. I need more context on whether they said jointly.
Yeah, filed taxes jointly.
Yeah.
But still her tax refund.
Yeah, exactly. So even if it was their tax refund, she could be doing a job that brings in considerably more money than him, and it's just been paid off because it doesn't obviously give context on how much money they make. But presumably, I was completely unaware that he had $7,000 in unpaid child support. Stop playing with the dog. I was completely unaware that he had $7,000 in unpaid child support. Presumably, he was delaying paying. Yeah. Why? If you've got such a good job, presumably, that you can jointly get a tax refund of enough to pay off $7,000 in one, then presumably he wasn't making that money. Mm-hmm. Presumably it's her money that she's making. So obviously, why would you be the butt for your money paying for someone else's child? It might be your partner, but it's not your child.
Nope.
Simple as. Even though it wasn't a simple answer.
Your top comment, not the butthole. You're dealing with a man who doesn't pay child support and tricked you into paying it. He is a POS. Don't expect him to be any better than he's already shown. He won't be.
Boom! Mic drop right there.
Yep, that was from Accomplished Fly. Thanks, buddy.
Am I the butt for eating nuts next to someone with an allergy on a plane? Had a bizarre situation today. I was flying from Hawaii to Florida. Ooh.
Fancy.
The stewards were walking around giving out mixed nuts. The woman seated next to me said to the flight attendants that she didn't want any because she is allergic to nuts and that there should have been a note in their system regarding not serving her nuts. The attendant said in a survey she'd filled out for the airline regarding injury she had not indicated that it was an airborne allergy and only checked that she couldn't ingest nuts. She stated they still shouldn't have served them and she shouldn't need to be that specific. The attendants asked her if we needed to make an emergency landing or if she required medical attention. She said no. The woman asked me if I could not eat the mixed nuts. Everyone around us had an open plastic cup of mixed nuts. I told her I wasn't sure how my eating them or not would help her in this situation. She said it was just a courtesy. A courtesy?
Go on.
I told her, truthfully, I hadn't eaten at all yet and needed to have something in my stomach to take a medication. I asked her if I could go to the back of the plane to eat the nuts, then come back. She sort of rolled her eyes but said this was fine. When I came back, she was complaining to the flight attendants about me and asking to be moved, specifically using the term, that butthole.
Oh, God.
I feel badly that I didn't handle the situation better. Am I the butt? What?
Hold on. It's my opinion time. Right. Not the butthole. She is a POS. The biggest type of POSK, Karen. You know, ones that I want to talk to your manager and you usually got like this really weird like short hair bob with like some highlights in it, and
I want to talk to the head of the airline.
I want to,
now on the phone while we're mid-flight.
I want to call the Echo and get me name and face put all over it, because someone was eating nuts next to me. No, it's disgusting. It's actually disgusting. Like, mate, you're not ingesting them. Get over yourself.
So we talked to someone before who's had a nut allergy, and they've talked about when they got to the flight, they had done what this woman had done, and she said there should have been a note in the system to say, you know, I've got a nut allergy. It's not airborne yet, but it shouldn't have been any. And a lot of airlines do that. If they know someone's got a nut allergy, they won't serve nuts on the plane. But I feel she didn't go one step further. What she could have done, that we know, the person we know has a nut allergy, did. When they got to the gate, they also said, just to make sure my associate has a nut allergy, can you just make sure that you don't serve any nuts on the plane? And they were like, yeah, that's fine. But then the issue then arose from someone who had brought their own nuts onto the plane in the form of like hazelnuts, and so that was not the airline. The airline actually went out the way to do what but they had already talked to them at the gate and clarified again about the nut allergy, but this doesn't seem like this woman had done, until they then revealed, oh, by the way, you waited till we're 4 hours into the flight and now we're serving nuts, now you have a problem with it.
Am I the butthole for telling my dad to never contact me again after he chose his wife's mum over me? Wow. What? Why? Okay, I can understand his wife, but why his wife's mum? What the hell? Hi everyone, I, 17 female, I'm only really posting this since my dad's family and even my mum are telling me that I'm in the wrong. My parents got divorced when I was 12 and I had 50-50 custody, so I would stay with my dad for a week, then my mum. When I was 14, my dad got married to my stepmom. I referred to her as his wife. And I would only see them on the weekends until they moved, and I only saw them whenever they visited. My mum got full custody. Anyways, last month they moved back to our city and got a 2-bedroom house. My dad had promised me the room before he moved back and told me he could do 50-50 again if me and my mum were okay with it, and we were. I was so excited and even picked up furniture and bought stuff to decorate it. Anyways, they move into the house and invite me. Give me a tour and show me my room. I asked when I could start putting things in it, and that's when they told me that they were actually going to give the room to his wife's mum. And since I was going away to college soon, it wasn't like I was going to use the room much. Wow! They also told me that instead of staying the full week, that I can go on the weekends and sleep on their couch if I wanted to. I said no to that and texted my mum to pick me up. It's been a month and I ghosted my dad fully. He even came to try and talk to me, but I was at school. He's been contacting my mum, to which he hates doing. So I just decided that I didn't want to be in his life anymore, or have him in mine, even though I barely did. I talked to my mum, and for someone who hates my dad, she told me that I should just talk to him and spend time with him since I barely got to for 2 years. I just decided to cut him off. It sounds impulsive, I know, but I sent him a long message detailing how emotionally neglected and unwanted he made me feel, and to never contact me again. I blocked him and blocked his side of the family. In the morning, my mum woke me up at 5 AM and asked what I did. Almost my dad's entire family had been blowing up her phone asking what she said or did that made me want to cut off my dad. During school, I even got a few messages from my cousins on Instagram that I forgot to block insulting me. Wow. My mum showed me some of the messages and some are insulting both of us. My dad even sent a message apologising to me, and I said I broke his heart. His wife is sending disgusting messages towards my mum. I feel awful because I didn't expect them to attack not only me but my mum. Harshly at that. I feel like I messed up and want to know what I did was the right thing.
Okay, the first problem I had with this part where he went, promised me a room, and then you're going to go to college soon. Why make the promise in the first place? Clearly, the dad's wife, as she was referring to, already had words in his ears about getting a mum in the house, or maybe the situation changed and then they thought, yeah, I did promise, but you're going to college soon, so bye. It's a horrible thing to do.
Honestly, the dad and the stepmom / his wife is an absolute colossal butthole. All the family are buttholes as well, especially bringing the mum into it.
I was going to touch on that. I was going to say, all the family are stupid for jumping to conclusions because they probably only heard one side of the story from the dad anyway. And not to mention that, but it was probably also ushered by the dad. Oh, my ex-partner's done this, done that, and turned my own child against me. Just a horrible snake thing to do.
Small update. My mum talked to my dad and set up a time to talk tomorrow after school. My mum's making me talk to him and reconcile, but I really don't want to. I'm trying to convince her not to force me to go, but she's threatening to take away my phone / laptop that I need for school and other things. I'll update you guys tomorrow. Nah. I'm sorry, but if one of my side of the family starts sending horrible messages to my mum because of something that I did, I decided to block my dad, and now my family are messaging my mum, calling her all sorts. Now they're all dead to me. Every single one of them will be dead to me. Hi guys, right now I'm at a friend's house. I'm gonna stay the night. If you guys saw the small update I did on my last post, my mum was making me see my dad in person today and try and reconcile. She was threatening to take away things I need and use like my phone, so I had to go. After school she picked me up and we drove to his house. I made sure to try and mentally prepare what I wanted to say/do. I really didn't want to talk to him, but since I was forced, I decided to take some advice from my last post and basically just talk about times I felt neglected and why I wanted to cut him off, including the harassment from his family. When I got there, I thought it was just going to be him, me and mum. But I was wrong. My mum came inside with me and my dad told me to sit in the dining room and wait. They stayed talking at the door and I went to the dining room. My dad's wife, who I'll just call Becca since it's close to her name, and her mum was sitting there. They told me to sit down while we wait for my dad. These women looked so angry at me, I felt uncomfortable. I sat and was on my phone and I could just feel and see them staring. I wanted to get up and leave, but my dad eventually came and sat down. He told me we needed to talk, but I asked him where my mum was and he said that she's left. I asked why and he ignored me. Then he started talking about how sorry he was for what I felt, but that Becca's mum wanted the room and she already broke her lease from her apartment and was thinking of quitting her job. Oh my god. Guys, this lady is 53 and acts like she's my age. She's gotten fired from all her jobs or quit because they were hard. Oh, diddums. For everyone thinking of a small, frail old lady, you're wrong. Picture someone who loves Vegas, drinking and party. There you go. I was mad. They all took turns talking and basically said words that mean, we are sorry if you're upset, but you're dramatic and you're being dramatic affects us, so we'll give you a bunch of excuses, make you seem like the bad guy. Just wanted to leave, so I said something like, this isn't just because of the room, it's the promises that were broken and how you treat me. And I gave examples of things he's done that hurt me, including the harassment. And when I mentioned it, Becca snorted and rolled her eyes at me and told me that I'm being dramatic with the word harassment, and it was towards my mum and not me. Me and Becca got into an argument, but it was more like me going, okay sure, but you still did this, and her excusing it and raising her voice. I decided to end that and just tell them that I'm not going to reconcile with them. If I have to talk to them in the future, I will, only if necessary, but for now I don't want to build a relationship since we haven't had one in years. When I asked when my mum was coming back, they told me she wasn't until Monday. This is when I got really upset and went outside. I didn't want to be inside or around them anymore, and I called/texted my mum for an hour straight. I even walked to a small plaza nearby just so I could be away from them. My mum didn't answer and it was getting late. I didn't want to involve my friends or anything, but it seemed like the only choice, so I asked one of my friends if she could come pick me up and if I can stay with her. She said yes, and now I'm at her house. She's doing homework right now, so I'm just in her living room watching TV waiting for it to be done. Her mum told me I can stay the whole weekend if I'm okay with going to church on Sunday and can borrow my friend's clothes. Fair enough. I texted my mum and let her know I'm staying with a friend and I still haven't heard back from her. I think she turned her phone off. Honestly, I want to cry out of anger. I'm so confused as to what happened. I'm mad, very mad, but also very numb. I don't know what this means. I left my mum voicemails crying, asking why she left and wasn't picking up, and venting to her, so I guess maybe I feel numb because of that. Who knows? I'll try to give you guys an update, but who knows what that will be. I have an update posted on my account between me and my mum. These are text messages. So this is mum. Was at work, sorry, home now. Hi, what the F? Why did you leave me there with dad's wife and mum? I thought you were coming with, not just leaving. I didn't even want to go. You could have left, what you did. You needed to at least have one conversation with them over the matter. I couldn't be there because you know how they feel about me. This is daughter again. And you know how they feel about me, mum. Your dad loves you. Well, he doesn't act like it. I'm at such and such, if you care. Her mum is only going to let me stay until Monday, then drop me off school with a friend. Can you pick me up? I can't. I'm going to be with whoever. Mum, seriously. Okay, whatever. Love you. See you on Monday. Love you too. Wow, that seems patronising as hell, the bottom message. Love you too. Flower, rose, heart.
There is no closure on this. I get that this was, the original post was 7 days ago. This was 3 days ago. And this is the newest post. So there is no conclusion to this as of yet. As of right now, basically, mum has abandoned her to deal with her father and her father's wife and father's wife's mum by herself. She can't be there because you know how they feel about me. And also, you know what kind of position your daughter has been put in. And to address the earlier harassment on the earlier update, dad's wife said you're being very dramatic with the word harassment. Do you understand what harassment is? Like, the harassment was to mum in this instance, OP's mum, but also it bled off onto OP from her father's family, and that is harassment.
Harassment is literally 3 or more unwanted texts or phone calls. That is literally when you can class it as harassment.
Definition of the law in the UK.
Yep. Oh, just thought I'd add as well. I really like OP's name. I'm just a pickle.
To conclude, not the butthole.
No.
We never addressed that. Not the butthole.
Not at all.
you were stuck in a very difficult situation. You didn't want contact because you didn't want to be in the middle of this custody battle. And we have both been there. I've been in the middle of a 50-50 custody battle. You don't want to be in it. And you tend to not like both parents at the time. So you're not butthole. All kids in that situation feel like that. Some kids might target one parent over the other, but every kid doesn't want to be there. They don't want to be in that situation. Not the butthole.
It's not fair when parents put kids in that position. Am I the butt for basically telling my in-laws this is my house? If you don't like my rules, get out. First off, I don't think I was wrong, which has infuriated my girlfriend. I, 25, recently moved into my house. My girlfriend, 27, and I had a little housewarming. Her family, my mother, and a few of our friends. We were eating outdoors and the kids had their own table. My girlfriend's nephew, 8 years old, knocked over a jug of dilute. That's juice, by the way, if no one knows. I was at the table when it happened and it was clearly an accident. He was very polite and apologised. He was a little upset, but I just laughed it off. His father came over and I was shocked at how much his father gave out to him. I told him it was only an accident, etc., and he kept going. I felt really guilty for not stopping it. He ran over to the corner of the garden and started crying. Oh. His father went back to the table and he said what happened, and his wife said he deserved that. There was almost a sneer from some of the family. Anyway, I went over to the boy a couple of minutes later. I gave him a bar of chocolate. He was still crying. He said sorry again. I gave him a high five, taught him this high five I used to do as a kid. His mother came over and said, do you mind not talking to my son? He needs to think about what he did wrong and he needs to do that alone.
What did he do wrong? He spilled some juice. He's a kid.
And he apologised? Oh, these parents are disgusting already. I took her and her husband aside and said, this is my house. If you want to upset your kid, don't do it here. If you don't like it, get out. I swear the reaction that followed was insane. They went back to the table saying it. My mum said, never hold him back. Didn't I raise a great son? He's spot on to not let bullies in his house, which erupted it even more. My mum would do that.
Yep.
My girlfriend spoke to me in private and asked me to apologise to them. I said no. I stand by what I said, and this part I regret a bit. I told her I think less of her for even asking me to apologise. A mate of mine and his son kicked ball with the boy and I. He actually gave me a hug. I don't do hugs. At the end of the party and said sorry again. He hugged so tightly for a couple of seconds. Kid knew it. I really could go on about the drama, but in short, her family thought I was wrong. I was getting little digs, etc. My girlfriend's friend came up to me privately and said I was right to step in. My girlfriend is still pushing for me to apologise. I still don't think I did anything wrong. I didn't tell them how to parent, but told them to leave if that's how they want to parent. If I'm being completely honest, I didn't say this. I'm not sure I'd want a kid with a family like that. I grow over spilled effing flavoured water. Wow, there's so many messages, apologies, but I can't respond to all. Some of the common answers to responses. Agreed, what must they be like in private? I agree wholly about that. What are, like, if they're like that in person, what are they doing to that poor kid behind closed doors? Pieces of poop should be reported to Childline or the police for a welfare check, just saying. My mother is the best mother any kid could have had. Yeah, it puts a big hole in my future with my girlfriend. Oh.
Your girlfriend is acting like she's embarrassed because you were addressing a very uncomfortable situation in, as you addressed at the title, your house. What's more embarrassing, right? Having to sit there and be uncomfortable while someone very badly parents a child and blows it massively out of proportion when there was no need to, when the kid's already apologised, as you said before, and it spilled juice. And the person whose house it was didn't care, and they said it was okay. Rather than, oh, I'm sorry, let me just go over and make sure that kid is okay and give him a chocolate bar, make sure he's happy. And yeah, what was wrong with that? Which was a more uncomfortable situation out of the two of them?
Oh, definitely let the parents get away with it.
Exactly, because they're her family members doing it rather than just her partner. I think reflecting to your partner that your family members are very poor parents and tantamount to child abuse, and as you said there, agreed, must they be like in private?
Actually disgusting.
I don't think there should be a future with your girlfriend if she's supporting child abuse effectively.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us again. This has been r/am I the butt. We've been Audio Games. I've been Alex.
And I've been Chelsea.
Join us next time for r/neighbours from hell. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye. If you enjoyed this video, then consider liking and subscribing, and we will see you on the next one. Bye for now, guys.